Once again, welcome to the 2021 student body election results. The student body elections concluded last evening at 8 p.m. We had a total of 4,030 students casting valid votes in the president and vice president election and referendum 2021-01. The turnout for this election was 45.63%. That is the highest recorded in 3 years. The Judicial Council commends the candidates and the election committee for their outreach efforts, which facilitated this increase in turnout despite a small number of tickets this year and university restrictions on in-person student activities due to community health concerns. The Judicial Council also commends the candidates this year on a clean constitutional race in which no violations of election misconduct occurred, nor were there any sanctions issued. An allegation was submitted at 11:58 p.m. on election night, and therefore pursuant to Article 15, Section 1J of the Constitution of the Undergraduate Student Body of the University of Notre Dame du Lac, the results of the election had to be delayed. While unfortunate in timing, the Judicial Council considers each instance of an allegation of election misconduct seriously. Regardless of the time they are reported, the Judicial Council diligently entertains the evidence provided and makes a decision on the issue independently from the rest of the election process, including a pending tentative schedule release of results. The Judicial Council meticulously reviewed this allegation to determine if it merited a hearing of the election committee. In doing so, we presumed the allegation to merit a hearing unless there is simply no plausible constitutional argument under which a violation of election regulations occurred. As explained in Advisory Opinion 2021-08, which lays out our reasoning in detail, we decided that no such argument existed, and therefore that this last-minute allegation lacked any merit. This year, in order to increase the transparency of our operations at Judicial Council, we have begun releasing these opinions to the public so that we are accountable for our decisions to the student body. We therefore encourage you to read our opinion in the press and on our website, jcouncil.nd.edu. While these advisory opinions do not name parties pertinent to the allegation, they do indeed lay out the nature and facts of the allegations in depth. Because this meritless allegation has been resolved, we are now free to share the results of yesterday's election. We'll begin with the referendum 2021-01. This referendum, ordered by the Student Senate to gauge student opinion, asked, raise the standard of valid signatures required of petitioners to the Student Senate from 200 to a number between 5 and 8% of the undergraduate student body to be determined by the Student Senate. There were 794 valid votes for yes and 2,698 valid votes for no, with 538 students abstaining. Thus, the referendum failed by a 23% to 77% margin. Next, the student body president and vice president election. The Webb Calpe ticket finished with 757 valid votes. The Siegel Holland ticket finished with 1,037 votes. And the Jomo Bisner ticket finished with 1,881 valid votes. 355 students abstained. These percentage tallies correspond to 21%, 28%, and 51% of the valid votes, respectively. Article 15, Section 5A of the Constitution mandates that a ticket must receive a majority of valid votes cast to win the election. Because the Jomo Bisner ticket received more than half of the valid votes, they are now the student body president and vice president-elect. The Judicial Council congratulates juniors Alan Ajomo and Matthew Bisner on their victory and congratulates the other tickets on a fair, well-fought race. I'll now share my screen to show you the PDF of the results, and I'll leave that up for a few moments. Once again, I'd like to thank all the candidates for their race. Despite a challenging year to be a candidate, they took upon an important duty to run for office this year and an important time in the history of our university. So we thank them for that, their time and their commitment to the student body. We congratulate Alan and Matthew. And most importantly, we thank the student body for their participation in this election process. That's all from our end. I appreciate all the students who logged in to watch this. Thank you for dealing with this process all the way through. I'm very, very proud of the work at Judicial Council, specifically to the Election Committee and to my Vice President for Elections, David Hongs. He's done a fantastic job, and he will continue to do a fantastic job throughout the rest of the election cycle. We have class council and hall elections coming up in the near future. So please continue to be involved. Please continue to put the responsibility on your current elected officials and look forward to the future of our next cycle of elections. Thank you very much, and good night.